Brothers and sisters, today, the 6th of January, in Trinidad, we had celebrated the Epiphany on Sunday. But I know for you in Ireland, it's the Epiphany today. And I wanted to reflect still a bit more on the Epiphany. It's very interesting that we had a prior once in Dublin, Father Eddie Conamy, and he gave a beautiful homily one night at our Holy Hour, and he spoke about the sanctuary lamp being next to the tabernacle, which would be like the star that always guides our presence, our eyes in the church to this tabernacle, to know that Jesus is truly here. And you know that star, that sanctuary lamp, that light reflects to us in a much deeper way our faith. That our faith is a light, and it's an internal light. It's a light that is in the darkness in one sense, because we cannot see God face to face. Even when we look at the Blessed Sacrament, our faith tells us Jesus is looking at me, that Jesus is there, just as present as any other human being. But that not only is he present in the Eucharist, that he is the glorified risen one. And this truth is lit up in our heart by faith. And I want to speak today about the experience of God using St. Thomas Aquinas, because I think it's fitting. We can tie it into this whole theme of the Epiphany, the journey of the wise men, because I see the journey of the wise men as a real way to think about the journey towards contemplation, towards seeing the face of the Lord. These wise men set out in darkness, in a sense that they set out with an intuition, with a guiding light of a star, and maybe some handful of prophecies, and but more importantly, this internal revelation, this being drawn by love, by grace, by the Holy Spirit in their hearts, that they believe, that they start to have faith in their souls, and this faith is drawing them towards the child in Bethlehem. And they will have to make a journey without seeing, but believing. And this is very much the whole path to prayer life, that sometimes our prayer life can be very much like that. We set out to pray, and we set out with a firm conviction that if we stick at praying, we're going to discover a king. We're going to discover a newborn. We're going to discover an anointed one. And this is what we set out to pray as Christians. We set out on the terrain of the inner landscape of our soul, of the inner journey, to go from sometimes the darkness or coldness of not feeling God, of not experiencing God, please God, to persevere, to therefore have an immense experience of God. Just like the wise men, when they left Herod, they left that place of evil, they came to see that the star settled over Bethlehem, and when they saw that star, it filled them with delight. Now, here's where St. Thomas comes in, because St. Thomas Aquinas speaks about, that the Christian, through the virtues of faith, hope, and love, will come to a profound experience, an experiential knowledge, loving knowledge, which is what faith is. It's joined to charity. It's a loving knowledge of God, a true experience where God reveals himself in the depths of the soul. And the wise men are drawn there by Christ himself, pulling them by grace in their heart. And they get to come to see him face to face in the arms of Mary. And this is like a foreshadowing of all our earthly journeys that we will finally come to see in the next life. And in heaven, when we die and please God, we're saved. And if we're saved, we could come to have this joy of seeing the face of Christ, the one who loves us in a way that nobody loves us, who loves us infinitely. And so St. Thomas says that the gift of wisdom is a gift from the Holy Spirit, which perfects our faith, and it is the gift that allows us to have a profound experience of God. It's a gift that we have to pray for, to grow in, because wisdom will allow us to taste God, taste and see that the Lord is good, the psalm says. And so it's our faith, like that star, it tells us that Christ is present, that Christ is here. And so it fills us with delight. That faith then can fill us with profound delight when we learn to let God purify us more and more in the whole journey of prayer. And that we will be filled at times on our earthly life with joys that cannot be spoken in words. We are filled with a peace that cannot be spoken in words. But of course, to reach this kind of deep joy and this deep peace, a journey must be made. Sadly, too many people do not set out. They don't follow the star. They stay in darkness. They stay in the back, and they never get to meet the face of Christ, even in their soul and in prayer. So we ask the Lord to give us the gift of wisdom so that we could taste and see him deep in prayer and experience his bright light.